All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're stepping into the dark, incredibly rich environmental storytelling hidden within a totally chilling post-apocalyptic universe. I mean, we're looking at an absolute masterclass in world building here, where the absence of life actually speaks volumes, and the decaying architecture itself basically becomes the main character. We're going to break down exactly how visual cues, lighting, and framing are used to craft a narrative of just absolute dread. So instead of doing a typical overview where we just look at facts from a safe distance, I want you to really imagine stepping directly into this desolate wasteland. We're going to unravel the mystery of who or, what actually survives in these ruins. What happens when the noise of civilization completely fades into a deafening silence? Well, this explainer is designed to walk you through that exact psychological journey, using the very sites that define this ruined world. We kick off our journey with this massive, echoing macro view of the ruined city. Just look at the sheer scale of the devastation. Notice the completely shattered concrete, the abandoned cars just sitting there lifeless on the rain-slicked pavement, and the suffocating isolation of those towering skeletal skyscrapers piercing the dark clouds. The muted color palette isn't just some random artistic choice. It brilliantly strips away literally any sense of hope, instantly telling us that whatever happened here, it was absolutely final. This city didn't just fall, it died. Now, as we approach the outskirts, entering what the signs ironically labels Scary Town, we are immediately confronted with these desperate, blood-red warnings urging us to leave before dark. Look at the wild juxtaposition. You have this formal, rusted welcome sign, violently overwritten with "Leave before dark" and "Don't visit this place." It signals a completely crucial shift in our narrative. This isn't just an empty, structurally unsound city, right? The danger isn't gravity or falling debris. The danger is active, and it comes out when the sun goes down. Moving down a rain-slicked, shadowy road, the tension really starts to mount. This scene perfectly captures the concept of leading lines in horror art. The painted lines on the road, illuminated by just a single flickering street lamp, draw your eyes directly past a rusted "Turn Back Now" sign. And right there, waiting at the very edge of the light, we catch our first distant glimpse of a spectral figure, the woman in white. Notice she isn't rushing us. She's just standing there. The environment is actively screaming at us to turn around, yet the visual composition pulls us inexorably forward straight into the dark. Okay, so naturally ignoring those visceral warnings, we descend further into the city's infrastructure, entering a claustrophobic train tunnel. Notice how the horror shifts from the open air to an incredibly confined space. The remnants of human life are no longer grand skyscrapers. They're reduced to these frantic, visceral messages smeared on the curving concrete walls. The tracks lead into total pitch blackness, and again, we see that figure just waiting for us. That feeling of being completely trapped is really starting to set in now. This single, frantic command captures the sheer panic of the former inhabitants, pulling the chilling text directly off those blood-stained walls we just witnessed in the tunnel. You see, when a society totally collapses, communication devolves to its most primal state. There are no detailed journals or exposition dumps left behind here. Just a frantic, repeated command. Run, run, run. That right there tells you everything you need to know about the final, terrifying moments of the people who used to ride these transit lines. As we push deeper into the ruins, we enter an abandoned medical facility, and the horror here relies entirely on the environment. Stepping into this ruined hospital room, the screaming spectral face painted on the wall, and that blood-stained, rusted bed frame, they tell a story of absolute sheer terror. The single light source casting a harsh glare on the mattress really forces us to confront whatever medical nightmares or supernatural events went down right in this very spot. I want you to actively place yourself in this room for a second. Imagine the heavy, stale air. How would your heart react to finding this specific, terrifying message written in blood right above the bed? I saw you. It completely breaches the comfort of isolation. In a dead city, the scariest thing isn't being alone. It's the sudden, incredibly jarring realization that you actually aren't alone at all. You are being watched. So, we've seen the warnings. We've seen the panic. We've literally felt the eyes watching us from the decaying plaster. But who exactly is left waiting in the dark? Let that question just hang in the silence for a moment, because all of this incredible environmental storytelling has been leading us to one specific, terrifying confrontation with the entity that's actually haunting these halls. We finally come face to back with the woman in white. Look closely at the framing here. Notice the perfect symmetry of the peeling, claustrophobic corridor. The open doors on either side offer these totally false promises of escape, but the visual weight pulls you straight down the center. She stands perfectly still at the very end of the hallway, directly under the failing light. She's not some cheap jump scare. She's an enduring, inevitable presence waiting for us at the end of the line. Following her into an abandoned hospital ward, a profoundly disturbing realization finally sets in. We are now totally locked in this room with her. She isn't facing us. She's just staring out the rain-streaked window at the dead city outside. Surrounding us are these empty, rusted iron beds. The cool, blue, moonlight tones here create a chilling atmosphere that contrasts so sharply with the bloody reds we saw earlier. The panic is gone. Now there is only a cold, permanent dread. And that leads us to the ultimate psychological terror of this world, the point of no return. You see, the true horror of this post-apocalyptic universe isn't just that the world ended. It's the realization that you are permanently trapped within its decaying walls alongside whatever was left behind. The city isn't just a setting, it's literally a purgatory. Those warnings on the outskirts, they weren't just about physical danger, they were trying to save your soul from becoming just another permanent fixture in the ruins. It is an absolute masterclass in using visual art to evoke a deeply personal sense of dread. The architecture, the lighting, and the haunting presence of the woman in white all work in this perfect, terrifying harmony. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final, incredibly unsettling thought. If you found yourself standing at the edge of this desolate skyline, staring down that dark, rain-slicked road, would you have listened to the warnings? Would you have turned back in time?